think it's gotten hella dusty. It's not like I spend 20 plus hours in this room a day. I think I probably spend like... No, I'd probably spend 23 hours in here a day. Because I sleep in here, I draw in here, I do work in here, and I mostly eat in here. So now the dust is definitely not surprising. All right. I think this is the first day that I'm gonna break all my bones. No, this is the first day I think that I've started a stream after going to work. 10 hours and 45 minutes Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 5:45. And this is the first week, and I'm making the either mistake or fortunate opportunity of doing some design after not sitting down and doing it for 10 plus hours. I actually stand up while I work. Thank you very much. Anyways, you could probably tell that I'm on a low energy, but most of the point of doing this is I work in SolidWorks during the day, and it's not like fun design. It's like, here's what people, 3+ years ahead of you have worked on. They need a SolidWorks model for their website. Do it with less dimensions than you think should be possible. Like, I have no idea how these products have made it fully into production, and they're able to give us like 3 dimensions. And there's CAD models of them. It's like all the CAD models just disappeared or were antiquated. I'm not gonna spend all my energy talking about something, complaining, whatever. Anyways, it's not really design stuff. It's not really design work. So coming here and doing this, it's kind of like, it helps me kind of see things the way that I need to see things. So I don't know. I also just like design. I like design. Why can't I not like design? I like working with it. I like doing it. It's so much fun. So disappeared or were antiquated. Yeah. Oh. Okay. There we go. Why is that on? Tired. I wasn't here, Monday? Even though that was probably like a really bad false promise. But on Sunday I said I would sketch this, and it looky-loo, I did. I had some like really weird tech problems on Tuesday, which essentially led me to not work when I was supposed to work for about like an hour and a half. So I was like, at first I was like, yes, YouTube videos, let's go. But afterwards, there we go. Afterwards, I was like, why don't I actually take the time to sketch something? Because I know I'm going to get tired later, which I was. But as tired as I am, like right now. But yeah, I drew, hold on. It was something that I was looking at on Sunday to try to get better at not really perspective, but just to draw something interesting and simple. And you can kind of tell from this drawing that it's not. You can tell that it's not really right. Something's wrong. I tried to. I think what it was, the main thing was, is that I rented a room, and I didn't really have anywhere else to go, and it just didn't seem like. There it is. It didn't really seem like it was gonna be saved. So, not this one, but that one, that bottom one. It's like you can see what it kind of looked like, but like I think I had done this leg and then I had done part of this leg, and it's kind of like I needed to pull this one down a little bit, and then something with one of these lines doesn't really add up. I think when I was drawing, wasn't really holding my arm properly, and lines kind of bent in a weird way. I think this one bent in a weird way, and then I had to like, kind of compensate with the top one. But then this was not the right height, and I knew it. And then, but even after, I couldn't really extend it. I don't know what it was, but I was like, ah, yes, this one should be up here, and then it should go up at this angle. It's like, oh, I don't have enough space. So, that's kind of odd. Like usually I run into the risk of drawing things extremely small because I don't want people to see everything. But I guess I'm getting bolder, and didn't work out too well this time. But you know, took the time to sketch, took the time to practice. Guess what? It wasn't a masterpiece the first time. Oh my god. It was shitty, and it was rushed, and therefore it was worse because it was rushed. Oh my god, it's such a surprise. It really isn't. But I do, do like going over them. I think when I was shading this too, like I started off with here because the area is like darker on the drawing. And I was like, oh yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna shade the rest. And then I got up here and I was like, no. That does not look good. So, anyways, I think I've been holding on to a lot of old drawings because it's like, when I get really good, I'll be able to look back and see, like how far I've come. And actually, that's kind of important for like, in a month to look back at something that you drew in the beginning of the month if you're practicing a lot, because sometimes it can be hard to see, especially for myself. Sometimes it can be hard to see exactly how far you've gone in terms of progression, because things can often seem like, nothing's really progressing, nothing's really happening. And everything seems futile, and, it's not fun to think that way. So having something to look back on is always nice. However, as the title says, I'm looking to get back into making that magnetic snowboard design. I have a couple more ideas and a couple more interesting issues that might arise, which are going to be interesting. But yeah, I have those, so I don't need this. My brain's like telling me, no, keep it. But guess what? No. I'm gonna screw with my eyes. I'm gonna turn this into a grid. No, I'll do that later. It's kind of funny that almost I am very tired, and I think you can hear it. I'm trying. I don't like using I don't like using filler words like actually totally I don't say that, but I don't like using filler words because if you ever listen to people like if you ever listen to people actually talk and listen to exactly the words that they're saying, you can tell the reason why you'll like a certain person's voice or how they say things usually ties directly to how many filler words they use. So if someone's coming off as a little more wise and understanding and mature, attractive, usually it has to do with not using like or saying like is the normal one that I feel like everyone knows that if you want to sound professional, don't say like like. But if you also take out the they're not really thinking word or filler words, they're more thinking words. It's when you're trying to think of something and you're multitasking and you go, yeah, it's the like yeah, like that, you know. You know is also kind of a filler word for me. So when you take all those little filler words and thinking words out, and you just take pauses, or you kind of hesitate a little bit. Hesitating between, I've done it a couple times, hesitating between all of your words, it looks like it sounds like you don't have all your eggs in a basket. It sounds like you can't formulate complex thoughts, which is never a good thing. So I've done that when I've tried to take out filler words before, or when I'm in a stressful situation and I'm focusing really hard on not using filler words. I'm going to start down here. When you're trying to not use filler words, or you're in a stressful situation trying not to use filler words, that can happen, and it's not, you can totally tell that. You can catch it in your own voice, which is even more frustrating because I can tell when I'm stressed and I'm trying to not use filler words, but I can also tell that I sound like I don't have everything together, which is even more frustrating. So it's like, do I want to decide between sounding like, you know, some sort of teenager, or sounding like I have some sort of teenager that has my thoughts together, or some adult that doesn't know what they're saying? Never a fun way to choose between those, but yeah, I just did it again. Trying to think really hard before saying things. It's something that's hard to do for prolonged periods of time, especially if you're not used to it. But it is nice that once, I remember I would, like my last year in college, I would spend a lot of time whenever I would talk with people to pay attention to that. And my last year in college, the times you got to speak face to face with people and not like be in front of a camera and then have them turn the camera off and then leave the room was very low. So it was a little easier in talking to people that way because it was only for short periods of time. But also, because I was about to do it again, something that's really interesting with, I remember with interviews, people would say this, but it was also in regards to, hold on, I gotta fix my camera brightness. Getting pissed off at it. Not that one. I guess I'll try to talk about it while I fix this. Something that's interesting about, yeah, I think that's good. I think that's kind of interesting about filler words that you use at the end of a sentence. After getting your idea across, it's gone really well. You didn't use a whole lot of filler words, and then people will say something along the lines of, "Yeah, and like, or not like, yeah, and so that's it." Simply by ending the sentence originally, you said, "That's it." By taking the pause and taking the break and saying, "Giraffes look good on sandwiches too." The willingness to not say anything after that, or not the willingness, the ability or the courage to not say anything after that, especially when you're in a situation where, especially when I'm in a situation that it's kind of more like an argument setting, or you're trying to get a point across. When you're in the moment trying to say something, or I, you, me, whoever, when I'm in the moment trying to say something, there's oftentimes this kind of saying the things that you're trying to say and pointing out the points that are very interesting, the argument that you're trying to display. There's a sense of power in that, and like having people listen to you, but there's also it's I can't really describe it. It's I'm constantly frantic to speak as fast and clearly as possible regarding a certain topic. But then when I run out of the topic, I need to say something else. But that just ends up ruining what I had just previously said, so then I have to say more things. So oftentimes I feel like when I'm paying attention to it, I have to say what I want to say and then leave space open. And most people, including myself, do leave space in between points, but it's not enough. You gotta really leave space and then like lean on that space, almost into awkward silence. 'Cause, man, awkward. The difference between spacing out points and awkward silence is like, it's a thin ass line. There's just, you either say something and wait and let there's almost like a musical nature to it when in band class or band concerts, playing in a concert hall, and everyone plays the final note. Nothing really happens for at least 4 or 5 seconds, because everyone plays the final note, and then there's kind of like a reverberation of the sound waves bouncing off of like the tall hall or whatever, or sometimes in the classroom we'll still do that. I don't know if that was just for practice or if you could still hear it. I think you could still hear it. But there's this pause, this musical pause where you kind of hear the note, hear the chord or the note or the phrase ending, almost like the music is breathing. Well, there's a similar aspect with, I'm going to do this. There's a similar aspect with talking, and I don't know, I wouldn't say just talking, but like, this concept similar when showcasing an argument or showcasing a point to someone else, that in order for the person to either understand the point or to understand simply what you said a second ago and how that ties in with everything else, leaving just that kind of like musical space of a little like breath, and you can hear people's brains understanding things. It's a little bit musical, and at least what I think. It's kind of interesting and beautiful, and I like doing it, and I constantly forget to do it. It's I am definitely my spirit animal, from someone else's perspective or point of view, would definitely be a golden retriever. I will just talk and interact and constantly be like around people like, yeah, awesome. Because, oh man, I am that way. So it's hard for me to kind of flow with everything for a little second, for a half second. But awkward silence is hilarious because if you go back to the concert hall setting with performances when you're in a concert hall, like especially a hall that's like, damn it, I said like, especially with a concert hall that's very tall and large, there's whenever a concert ends, the note is, I feel like, depending on the concert hall, held longer or shorter based on the space and based off the waves reflecting off the walls. I'd like to say that, but I don't know. Still, there's that moment of silence that everyone kind of honors and listens to everything as the conductor's holding everyone there and then releases, then you can start applauding. Well, when the conductor releases and everyone relaxes after the concert was played or after the piece is played and no one applauds, that is what we call awkward silence. Awkward silence always seems to come right after everyone knows that the silence should have ended. And I do have to say, though, there's a difference between awkward silence and good silence. Like, the pause that you would take after explaining a point is good silence. But if no one speaks after that, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's awkward silence, you know? Because if you, oh man, I love body language and I love being around like physical people because, because someone can be talking in a really complex manner, at a really fast pace, but not be opening their mouth. It's possible. It's called body language. If you just explained a point or talked about something interesting, and the person that you're talking to just goes, they're speaking. They're speaking in a way that doesn't involve their voice. And I just love that. And again, my puppy dog mentality will be like, all right, say something. Or I'll start saying something again. But I think it happens a lot when I'm either a little tired, not really, but just kind of like enough to be kind of like chill and relaxed about things, but not like, oh, fuck me. Whenever I'm slightly tired, kind of like right now, that puppy dog mentality kind of goes away a little bit. It can still come back and I can still get energized again, but I get into this very thoughtful mood. And that usually when I'm thinking about things, I'll think about stuff like this. And then I'll remember, ooh, you know, when you explain a point and you do the thing and then you wait. And then you don't do anything and you wait. Like yes, that's how my brain works. But what was I saying? This will also happen when I'm tired. Yeah, even if I'm not tired, it'll still happen. It was about, oh man, I thoroughly lost myself. God, no! It was right there! Something about moment of silence. Ooh. When I'm kind of tired, listening to body language, So close. I hate that. It's something that is kind of okay. I gotta get my file, my drawings out, or else I'll never put away my pen. Get out the damn pencil. All right. Oh yeah, that was the one that I worked on Sunday. I think I might do something on the reverse side. Or, you know what? I kind of want to do a little bit of light sketching just to see how a boot would fit onto that. Oh, something really interesting. Not really interesting, but like you know what? I'm gonna shut up and write it down first. Because I was gonna talk about something beforehand. I don't want to forget it. I forgot it. Of course I did. Why not? Why not, you know? Oh man, it's not necessarily like the personification of thoughts. Is it personifying? Yeah, I think it is. That at least I don't know if this is for everyone. It might just be for people who are visual thinkers, but I wonder if other people have this kind of understanding of their own thoughts, is that when you recently have forgotten something, especially something you just were talking about, and you get close to remembering it, how do you know you're close? How do you know you're close to the thought? You could be far away from it. You could be kind of far away from it, but how do you know it's on the tip of your tongue? It's almost as if because damn it, I just did both. I did two filler words. Damn it. All right. With getting close to what you're originally thinking about, say it was this. How would you know you're close unless you know what that thought was? Right? Right? So, I mean, obviously your brain has recognized that it's had this idea. It was talking about this idea. So it's in your brain somewhere. And we do forget things. You know, it's possible to clear our memory of certain ideas, but you can't miss something that you've never seen or known or cared about. Oh god, that's the short bus Tesla car. What is this? Oh my god. Notes. Okay. So you can't miss something that you've never seen. So when you are if you've truly forgotten something, like something that you're talking about, and it's on the tip of your tongue and you know you're close, then you didn't actually forget about it. You've never forgotten about the topic. It just went somewhere else. So if you've never, this is not right. I guess I'll put it over here. If you've never, oh, there it is. If you didn't forget the thing that you were thinking about, it's still somewhere in your head. So where did it go? Is it in a different part of your brain? Did your brain mess up and take a verbal idea and visualize it, but it can't get it back to the verbal side of your brain? Where does it go? Where do your thoughts go when you forget about it for a second, but can remember where you were beforehand? Where does it go? It's always it's kind of interesting though. I don't like, and I'm not saying where does it go in the sense of like physiologically where does it go, but in terms of consciousness as a whole, if we're able to seemingly, even though we don't really, seemingly generate random ideas about random things as our lives go on and as our days go on, where do things go? Where do they come from? Where do they go? Where do they come from, Kane Joe? It's obligatory. Okay, thank you very much. Singing that song. I was gonna redo that. Sorry about the paper. I'm trying to figure out where I left off with my magnetic snowboard thing. I know I was working on the bindings, and then I wanted to work on maybe like the top side, but this boot that I had drawn on Sunday is giving me different ideas because while it's not in the correct perspective and it's a little short and stubby, this backing right here is actually looks like a kind of hard plastic. I know just from looking at it, having only hard plastic here is not going to make the entire ankle and above area rigid, so it's something to look at. But boots do add stuff here, and this is specifically one of those boots that is a step-in boot because it's closer to the idea of actually no, whatever. It's kind of close, but it's kind of not. So my understanding with or the idea of looking at step-in boots is that the only connection points are here and here to connect your boot to the binding. But regular bindings kind of strap over the foot. If you're not going to have something strap over your foot, there's going to be more thought put into how things are designed on this kind of front area. That's why I think it's important to look at those types of bindings, but it's important to look at the soles of regular, damn it. It's important to look at the soles of regular or original snowboard boots and bindings because the connection points are up here. I don't really care about that. It's mostly the sole because I feel like it's more important to have a firm connection point for the sole for the original ones because that's where the straps are pulling down to. Whereas, I don't know. I have to look at snowboard soles. It's something that's like, wow. It's something that's kind of perplexing. It's perplexing in the sense that why do snowboard boots have tread on them, even though the whole point of a snowboard boot is to put it on a frickin' platform on a board that doesn't have like opposing, like I use the word like, that doesn't have, it doesn't, snowboard binding surfaces don't have an opposing tread pattern, so it's not like it locks in. That's the correct term of like, thank you. So the reason why snowboard boots would have tread is when you're not using them as snowboard boots. It's when you're using them as boot boots. That's interesting, to me at least. It's I guess snowboards have been around for a while, so that may just be that larger companies see that people use them when they're snowboarding, but they're not going to take them off right when they... Oh. I just thought of a really cool idea. So I should sketch something today. I think I might do another snowboard boot, even though I've done so many damn shoes and boots lately that I really shouldn't. even though the project that I'm working on involves feet and shoes. But you know what I might do is I might draw human anatomy. I might draw fingers and hands. That's important. I think I'll draw feet. That'll be fun. Yay. Oh god, I just stared right at the light. It's 7 o'clock right now. I might only be on for an hour because I'm getting tired and I need to work out. Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Gonna draw feet. Draw feet. So I need to write that down or else I will forget based off of the current track record that I'm having. So the interesting thing, not interesting, it's not really interesting, it's something. An issue, I guess, with magnetic snowboard boots is that I either, in order to, well, no matter what, actually, they're going to weigh a lot. Why? Because magnets weigh a lot, especially strong magnets, because to my understanding, I will have to look this up. My understanding, strong magnets are just essentially bigger, more weighty magnets. So if I want to have a strong connection point and not lose that connection point when someone's riding or doing something really fast or dangerous, because that would be a bad thing if your snowboard just randomly ejected from your feet, they'd have to be strong magnets. But then on the other side of that, I'd either have to in order to release the boots from the board, I would have to include an electric magnet, which would mean charging, which would mean failure by not charging, which is never fun. But kind of like with electric cars, you know is a filler word, damn it. With electric cars, people say, oh, what happens if you don't charge it? What happens if you don't put gas in your car? It runs out. Glad to see we're on the same page with that. So, for the conscious person, which is few and far, that slogan, I really just screwed that one. Conscious people in the world are very hard to come by these days, it seems like. Or at least the unconscious ones are just constantly laying down on the street in front of me. Oh, that image is interesting. But people who would buy this and recognize that it needs to be charged are probably going to charge it. It just sucks that so many things in our technological world need to be charged that adding one more thing doesn't seem like it should be a problem, but simply on the fact of power cords and finding an outlet is ridiculously hard nowadays when you're in a public setting, or if you're already using a bunch of devices that need to be charged, it's hard to find more outlets and more power. So adding something else to that list is not always a good idea, but it could be possible. I would have to, and I'm pretty sure electromagnets need, electromagnets need a high power source, a very strong power source, so it would have to be a large battery, which means more weight, which means not good turning ability. Not good performance, let's say that. What I could do is I could just make the thickness of the board the battery, which would be really interesting. But if that battery snaps, like if someone does a trick or something and it breaks, that's a very bad situation. Not good. So probably couldn't be able to do that. Yeah, so I have to do it. I'm just kind of in the mindset of figuring this out because it's something that could really make or break this board. So if I'm not going to do electromagnets, I need to make something that, so say the boot is here, I would have magnets maybe here, magnets maybe here, and then I would have a plate that when activated pushes up on the boot or on something. It would usually be a hard plate there probably, but it wouldn't be magnetic. So that something could push up and disengage the magnets. But again, with magnets, is that the easiest way to separate them is to do this. The hardest way is to pull them apart. Maybe an easier way would be to peel them, but that's a complex motion for a tiny area in a low budget tiny area. So it's difficult. All right, let's hold on. So the idea to strengthen the area around it would be adding moving parts, which I don't want to do. I don't like moving parts. Minimalism is no moving parts, but it might just be necessary given the constraints. So originally I would just have magnets, say, like, damn it, I used like, say there was one spanning the length there, and then there is maybe another magnet spanning this area, and there'd be magnets be those two areas. If they have to be really big, they're going to be really heavy. And it's only really, like, the idea would be to use really strong magnets in two areas, and you wouldn't have to put them anywhere else. And it would be a lot easier to activate it because there wouldn't be any moving parts. You literally just put the foot on there. And when I say really strong magnets to keep there from using other magnets, the reason for using less magnets and just two strong ones is to decrease the amount of parts on this. To decrease the amount of parts in general. So totally forgot. Couldn't formulate anything. So using two magnets is not really for weight savings, it's mostly just for parts savings. But in order to add a more cohesive and strong system, more magnets at a lesser magnitude is more beneficial, but it adds more parts. And what it could add is more moving parts. So the idea would be to have magnets on the base of the foot. Hey, I drew a foot here. Maybe I can use it. Two magnets. The next best thing would be to put the magnets on these little inner sidewalls, or have it in this little heel cup. This would be lower. It'd be more like a heel cup down here. In order to keep the board on. Oh my god, I'm tired. In order to keep the board on the feet, I have to protect the rider from all axes of disruption. So most of the time, the rider's going to be putting their own weight down here on that edge and on that edge in the middle, and it'll keep their feet on just based off of friction alone usually, or really shitty magnets would be able to hold people. But when you wipe out or when you fall, that's the issue, when the edge just suddenly catches on something and the board almost seems like it wants to rip away from you. That's kind of difficult. And I could have something come more over top the foot and kind of come down and hold the foot in place. But if I was going to do that, why wouldn't I just have it without the magnets? Why wouldn't I just kind of enclose it around the boot and then splay it open when you want to get out? That would be great. You could do it without magnets. So that's difficult in its own right, because how do you know exactly? It would be something that that idea is interesting. I don't want to draw it right now. I'm very tired. Even talking right now, I'm just so tired. think I'm gonna stop in like 15 minutes. I'm so tired. I have to do shit later too. Oh man. I am balls to the walls tired. I think I slept for 7 hours. Oh my god, I'm so... I don't know why, I just hit a wall right now. Sorry. My bad. I haven't even done any drawing. It's just mostly thinking hard about difficult topics right now, I think. Because, again, something that I probably should be doing as a designer is not think really hard about the mechanics of it and just make shit. Because that's my job title. It's just draw things that look interesting and could work and then give it to the engineers to figure it out. But I don't have engineers for that. I mean, I could ask people, but I'd rather work the muscle a little bit. I think that's just a better idea for now. I do need to do some drawing of it eventually, but figuring out the direction is always important. So let me get a pen. I think on this one I'll write it down. So who is this for? Would probably be for someone who snowboards. So snowboarder. That is a tiny script, I'm so sorry. That's like big for me too. That would be a snowboarder who has a minimalist aesthetic. Yeah. Minimalist, or someone who is dissatisfied. Jesus. Dissatisfied with current binding technology. That to be binding tech. What else could describe this person? Someone that likes cool action with practical functionality. So someone that likes the action of something like, you know, bolt action, like, damn it, not that, like, someone that likes the way the method that the product uses to function. An interesting likes I don't know how to phrase it in a short manner. It's someone who likes a futuristic method for function. Futuristic functionality. Yeah, that works. So it's a person that likes the way that it connects, certain things connect to each other, looks cool or interesting or futuristic, or it looks unlike something else, that one of a kind look. And that is very present in snowboarding, I think. If you go on a snowboarding website, there's maybe 3 or 4 different types of boards, 2 to 3 maybe types of bindings, but then after that there's so many just graphics and styles of graphics and colorways and all these different customizations that owning a snowboard is really about customization. It's almost comparable to the car world. It's very much making something that, or not making something. It's less of a snowboarding, I think, is less of a customization. It's more of a buying to fit your looks. So it's an accessory to your style, especially your winter style. So it's got to fit in with how your winter jacket and pants look, and what kind of bandana you wear, or what kind of mask that you're wearing when you're out snowboarding. It's something that has to fit into that. So having a one-of-a-kind look is important. So having a snowboard that doesn't look like anything else you've ever seen, it's gonna get you those looks. It's gonna get you that individuality. But it's something that I have to be important not to abuse. So I can't just think that people will want to buy this because it's a one-of-a-kind thing. Well, if 10,000 people buy this thing, it's not going to be really one-of-a-kind. I mean, there's going to be, you know, if it's throughout the world, if 10,000 people buy it, it's not a whole lot. It's still one-of-a-kind. It's still probably hard to find another person who owns it. But it would really be a good idea to implement something that allows for unique customization. So not just buying something that kind of looks like your style. That's going to be difficult. But it's pretty possible. Something that's easy to use, easy functionality. Unique. Functionality. So this board can do something on its list of functions that no other board can do. You can throw the board in front of you, let it slide on the snow, and then hop on. That would be pretty goddamn nuts. Sorry, it would. Fuck. keep catching myself right after I do it. It'd be pretty awesome to see someone do that, and then, oh my god, it would be so cool to see someone do that on, like, right before Black Diamond. You're just like, fuck. They just go up to the mountain, they kind of slide the board out in front of them. Someone's like, oh my god, you're gonna lose that, and they run up and they jump on it, and then they go, and you just sit there in awe, just sitting there like, what the fuck was that? There was no bindings, but he's still stuck. Is he just crazy? You know, that's a very unique functionality. That is something that has been on the very, like, antithesis of why I want to build this. It just looks, it's so cool. It has such a unique function. It would be amazing. But it's so difficult to figure out. So I think this is more of on the user side of thing, where this is more of how the product exists. So with the easy functionality, making something that hinges over and encloses the boot, almost like if you've ever seen those automatic shoes where you put your foot in and it closes up the laces automatically and costs like $5,000 for no reason, even though I've definitely thought of easier and mechanical ways to do that that would make people's lives so much easier. I'm just gonna say this for a little half second. I have a boot in front of me I can show. So ideally, I don't want to mess this up yet. Ideally, it would take this kind of heel cap area on a boot. On a shoe, it'd be, you know, right there. You know, there's the back area, and then it kind of pops up, but there's a little dip right here. Well, right on that heel cup, there would be a line, and you could probably incorporate it into the overall look of the shoe, so it doesn't look like it's out of place too much, but it would be on a seam or something like that. And on the inside of the shoe, there would be a plate that sticks up when your foot is not in the shoe, and the whole hinge system is open. This little back thing is just kind of opens up back here, and it would be as easy as putting it into the sole of the shoe, which might be difficult, or you could put it on the outside and make it look steampunk. A plate on here. When you put your foot and your toes near the front here, you could either just press down with the power of your toes, or if you need a little extra help, because it would probably, this is a design that would probably help people who have difficulty putting shoes on, is you could just kind of press on your toe a little bit, you know, prop up your foot and press down on your toe, and the heel cup will come and shut. And ideally, the shoe would be fitted so that this ankle area where your foot normally is in would be like like have a chokehold on your ankle. Because if you would make a shoe like this, that's something that's very unique. Because in most shoes, you need to have enough flexibility so that you can get your foot in and out. But this one, the way to get your foot in and out is the little back piece that you can slide your foot up. It would have another unique functionality of a step-in shoe, which is having a more secure fit around your ankle. But no, you know, we're all about automatic and technology things these days, and I should just do shoes. I have so many shoe ideas. Snowboarding, step-in shoes, Two Left Feet company, a shoe company that would, yeah, this song is really depressing. Hold on. I'm actually gonna turn it off because I'm just talking pretty much. Sorry if the music has distracted you so far. It probably distracted me too. Damn it. Now I'm thinking about thinking. This is never a good route to go down. What are the other shoe ideas? So I have the manual step-in shoe. A snowboard boot idea. Oh yeah, Two Left Feet company, which is a shoe company where, yes, I already named it, of course, why not? Two Left Feet, that's going to be awesome. The main construction of these shoes would be ambiguous feet. So when you look at a shoe, generally the left foot is kind of like, if you look at the half circle that makes up the front of the shoe, it's like this. So the left foot is where the pinky toe's in, and it starts curving in early, and then it gets over to the front where it's the big toe sticks out, so it matches what our feet look like. This would just be an equal, it wouldn't taper down like this. It would be equal, and it would just be a little nose on the front. The insoles would be something that is added after the fact, and is then, that's where you can shape it to either foot. And the purpose behind this would just be for people who sometimes one shoe gets fucked up. That's what happens. Or one shoe wears faster than another. Or whatever it may be. It might just even be it would definitely be a cheaper way to make shoes. Because you don't have to have two parts, two molds. Two mirror image molds of each other. You just have one. The only thing that would be different is the insoles. Be interesting. You know what's also really interesting about that idea that I just thought of right now? I'm thinking of a lot of interesting things and a lot of interesting things right today. But something that would be interesting with this idea is that what you could do is if the insoles are easily removable, which I would definitely do that because so there would be two layers of the insole. There'd be one that shapes it to each side of your foot, and then there would be another one that is just literally the insole. The insole part, easily removable. The other part that structures it would be harder to remove for good reason, but still removable. For why? My feet aren't perfect. I do walk on the outside of my foot, which is not the greatest. It'd be interesting to be able to, once you wear down your shoes a decent amount, to switch the feet that they're on and then wear them down again so you fully wear down the shoes. So you use more of the shoe. There's a phone company, a mobile phone company that does something really interesting, which is they make their phones easily replaceable. And you'd be thinking, why don't all cell phones or most cell phone companies make things easily repairable these days? Smartphone companies, sorry. Nope. Not even flip phones are easy to replace anymore. They're all shit. They all last a year and then go to the landfill. So there's this phone company that is sick and tired of this BS, and they made their phones easy to repair, and they keep supporting old phones for, I think, like 5 to 10 years. I don't know the exact number, but it's cool, and it's nice, and it's a good way to make a company and a good way to keep doing things, because it just is nice. I like that, okay? It's cool. They're on my nice list. What was I saying? I'm getting progressively more and more tired. Oh god, that's what happens when the day goes on. You just keep dying. I said I was gonna draw feet. Maybe I'll just not. Part of the reason for doing this today is I do want to be doing this throughout the week, and I do want to be doing this every week, because why not? But this is the first week that I started a new job, and I don't really have everything totally under control now, and I probably won't for a little while. But getting online and just being like, "Hey, I'm here," I think, is something that is good enough for now. Next week, if I'm still like this, I need to change things. Maybe do less during the week and do more on the weekends. What have it. But I shouldn't be so hard on myself. It's not like this is life or death right now. Honestly, being here and working through some of these things is enough for now in terms of design. Yeah, I want to do more. I always want to do more, but listen to my zen, tired as fuck self. It's okay for now. Two Left Feet Company? Is that what I was thinking about before getting annoyed at myself? I'm taking more pauses now, as you can tell. I'm not trying to say wearing down the shoes is where I last remember myself talking about swapping them for each foot. Oh, the easily repaired cell phone. With the Two Left Feet company, it would be a good idea to construct the shoes in a way. I'd have to consult, I forget what they're called. Shoe people, the shoe tribe. What are they called? Cobblers. I'd want to talk with some cobblers, some shoe cobblers. Not cobbler pie. Never cobbler pie. Never again. I want to talk with some shoe cobblers and see what makes a shoe easily repairable. What is a company that makes a really easily repairable shoe? What is a company that makes a hard repairable shoe? What is a company that kind of splits it, where it's kind of, it's all right to repair, but the materials last a long time? What, or the way that it's stitched together makes it last a little longer? What is a method that you use to make things last a little longer? Stuff like that would really give some insight on how to make a new type of shoe. Because I have these really nice shoes. I have not really nice. They're pretty nice. And I wear them on a daily basis. They're like, fuck me. I hate using that word. They are like, they're kind of like hiking shoes. That's what the category that they're in. But essentially they're more durable running shoes. Running/everyday shoes. Kind of comfortable on the inside. It's kind of wearing on one spot, like on the back of my heel. It's wearing a little bit more. But they're really comfortable, really nice, kind of expensive. I don't want to spend a lot of money on them again. But again, that backside of the heel is wearing out. And the sole is wearing out. And I have no clue if they can be replaced, if those areas can be fixed. Because I just never have gone. I feel like I can meet, someone on the street right now. I can go outside and say, hey, crazy question, but have you ever gone to a cobbler and gotten your shoes repaired? More than likely people would say no. It's something that just doesn't happen anymore. And I feel like it's something that everyone should go to. People could save a lot of money not going and getting shitty pairs of shoes on Amazon for $20 and getting some nicer shoes. Not totally nice, like nicer. And then just going to a cobbler and getting them repaired. But there's obviously shoes like those $20 shitty shoes that probably aren't either worth it getting repaired or just are significantly harder to repair. That has to be a thing, right? Might just be my reluctancy to go to a shop and be like, hey, can you repair these? And they go up to me and look at them and say, where'd you get these? Oh yeah, I got them off of this hiking shoe. Oh yeah, we don't repair those. I think my biggest issue with when I talk to people that I don't know, or I'm hesitant to talk to people, it's not necessarily of getting denied. It's getting denied information. It's going up to someone and saying, hey, I would like to know more about this, and give them a very multi-pronged question, and the person goes, yeah, it's because we, something about cost or something like, yeah, it costs too much for us to do that. Why does it cost too much? We don't like shelling out the materials of the thread. Just people that are uncooperative, but not uncooperative in the sense that like they say that they're uncooperative. They're uncooperative in the sense that they take a very complex and well-crafted question and answer in 2 words or less, and you're just standing there like, they're just standing there thinking, what the fuck, dude? If you don't want to answer my question to a decent extent, could you at least say, I don't have the time to answer, I don't want to answer that right now, I really don't. This is probably one of the issues with bend over backwards customer service. Like, you could tell that all my filler words are coming back now that I'm getting really, really tired. It's probably due to the fact of not that, but people not telling it how it is, especially in a shop format, is probably has to do with bend over backwards services. Because if someone says, "No, I don't want to do that," the question would be, "Well, why don't you want to do that?" You know, the sassy North Shore person who comes up to and goes, I want you to do this, and if you tell me no, I'm gonna slap you in the fucking face, and then I'm gonna call, murder, bloody murder if you try to, do anything else against me or something like that. People are so scared of those types of people, and it's justified. It's hard to clap back or at least keep them at bay. I'm definitely not a person who goes out and intentionally, well, not intentionally, but I'm definitely not someone who knows or not knows. I don't do bend over backwards customer service. I was / still am an Uber driver. I don't. If someone asks nicely, "Hey, can you drop me 2 blocks over there?" Sure. Okay. Because generally you could get a higher tip or a tip at all, or why not be nice, But if someone says, "Drop me off half a mile away," no, I'm not going to do that. They say, "Well, my Uber driver last time dropped me off that far." Okay, they're a different person. I hate dealing with people like that just assume that you're supposed to give them your lungs and your heart and your liver because the last person did. I don't care. I'm not the last person. Yeah, it is frightening dealing with those types of people. So I guess the bend over backwards service came from, it was an advertised thing, but it probably also was to deal with those people who just demand everything. There's no good way to deal with them where you come out on top. So it's very difficult if you know how to. It's so complex to just kind of have to get on their level for a half second, but then go above them and then go under them and sucker punch them in the jaw, but nicely, so that they'll be nice to you back or something like that. Use a little comedy. But cobblers. That was a long tangent. Cobblers? Oh yeah. And you go to a shoe cobbler to figure out how shoes are made, or at least repaired, because it would be really interesting to make shoes based off of that fact, based off of using it as much as possible and being able to repair it, being able to do it yourself, maybe. Though repairing shoes might be pretty difficult. It would be really interesting is talking to a bunch of shoe cobblers and saying, if this shoe were to be created, could we possibly team up with you and 50 other shoe cobblers around the nation, and at these select stores you can get a discount on these shoes being repaired because they're meant to be repaired by you guys. Talking to as many people who repair shoes as possible and saying, hey, if we make these shoes, and if we make a surplus of these shoes, like if you start seeing these shoes out and about and you see them come in every so often, can you agree to, at a certain point, charge less for them? Because it would be that second wave. It would be able to scale the production of these, because it would be something that could definitely be advertised that these shoes are not only easy to repair, but all of these shoe cobblers are ready to welcome you into the store and give you a discounted price on them because they know how nice it is to work on these shoes. Like something like that. It just really elevate the product even higher. It's not only the fact of making the product easy for the people using them, but easy for the people that have to deal with them. It makes it so much better. So I really should just do a lot of shoe design. But I don't like getting stuck in one little area. I like working on a lot of things. Right now my brain is definitely in shoe area, shoe town, foot town, Mostly, not all the time. I don't no, I don't do that all the time, but it's definitely, I'm looking at shoes a lot, and I'm looking at motorcycles and electric vehicles and cars, an accessory, car accessory, motorcycles, motorcycle accessory, boots, shoes. That's definitely where my brain is at right now. Yeah. Anyways, I didn't do any sketching today, but I did talk a lot about what I want to do next. What do I need to do? I need to draw feet, figure out backing plates on boots. Strength of attachment. So that means finding how strong the magnets need to be in order to resist certain forces, like falling off or falling down on your snowboard getting away from you. How many magnets that might be? It's just looking. That's going to be a lot of going online, and then that probably is going to backing plates are going to influence the design of the boot. The strength of attachment is going to influence how it attaches about here and lower. I think I figured out the back. I like the back how it is on the binding. Detachment. Strength of attachment is definitely going to rule over a lot of other things. So I think that's good enough for now. I'm going to fall asleep in 10 seconds if I don't leave right now. But, oh, man. Hopefully I sleep at least 9 hours. No, hopefully I sleep exactly 9 hours tonight, because if I sleep more, I'm going to hate it. If I sleep less, I'm going to hate it. Hopefully I sleep 9 hours tonight so that I can get on tomorrow, which is my last day of work for the week. Normally it's always Monday through Thursday. So that's nice. Even though I don't set up my schedule to stream Fridays, even though I really should. You know what I should do? I should not work. Or not stream Monday, Wednesday, but stream Tuesday, Thursday. That would be smart. That would be the smart thing to do. Maybe I'll revise it next week. I'll have to see, but I should be on here tomorrow doing snowboard work. It's probably gonna be researching magnets and parts. The fun part of design. It's more of the engineering side, I guess. Maybe somewhat. I don't know. I'll do something with it. Definitely.